Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we'll be studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 27, Text number 8. Yadrichaya upalabdhena santushtaha mita bhuk munehe vivikta sharanaha shantaha maitraha karunaha atmavan yadrichayopalabdhena santushto mita punmune vivikta sharana shanto maitra karuna atmavan yadrichayopalabdhena santushto mita punmune vivikta sharana shanto maitra karuna atmavan yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitapunmane Vivikta sharana shanto Maitra karuna atmavan
Aniccapato
Yarichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhumai.
Santushto mitapunmane.
There's one more.
Oh.
Vikta Sharana Shanto
Vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra Karuna Atmavan
Maitra karuna atmavan
Yajrichayopalabdhena
Yarichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabunmunehi
Santushto mitapunmane
Vivikta Sharana Shanto
Vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra Karuna Atmavan
Maitra karuna atmavan
Santushto Midabun Muni
santushto mita punmune
Vikta Sarana Shanto
vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra Karuna Atmavan
maitra karuna atmavan
Yadrichayopalabdhena
yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitabhunmuni
untushto mita punmune
Vivikta sharana shanto
vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra karunaya atmavan
maitra karuna atmavan
Yarichayopalabdhena
yadrichayopalabdhena
Santushto mitapunmane
untushto mita punmune
Vivikta sharana shanto
vivikta sharana shanto
Maitra karuna atmavan
maitra karuna atmavan
Yadrishchaya phalabdena
yadrichayopalabdhena
santushto mitabhunmune
santushto mita punmune
vivikta sharanashanto
vivikta sharana shanto
maitra karuna atmavan
maitra karuna atmavan
Okay, online, please chant. Yarichayopalabdhena Santushto mitapunmane Vivikta sharana shanto Maitra Karuna Atmavan.
Hare Krishna. Yatra chayopalabdhena
Yadichayopalabdena
santushto mitbhunmunihi
Santushto Mitabun Munihi
vivikta sharana shanto
Vivikta Sharana Shanto
maitraha karuna atmavan
Maitra Karuna Atmavan.
यादृच्छयोपलब्धेन
Yadichayopalabdena
सन्तुष्टो मितभन्मुनिः
Santushto Mitabun Munihi
विविक्ता शरणः शान्तो
Vivikta Sharana Shanto
मैत्रः करुण आत्मवान्
Maitra Karuna Atmavan. Okay. Yadichaya
With what is obtained. Santushtaha, satisfied. Mita, little. Bhog, eating. Munehe, thoughtful. Vivikta Sharanaha, living in a secluded place. Shantaha, peaceful. Maitraha, friendly. Karunaha, compassionate. Atmavan, self-possessed, self-realized. Translation. For his income, a devotee should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. He should live in a secluded place and always be thoughtful, peaceful, friendly, compassionate, and self-realized. Purport. Everyone who has accepted a material body must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. A devotee should only work for such income as is absolutely necessary. He should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more and more simply to accumulate the unnecessary. A person in the conditioned state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn some with the object of lording it over material nature. Kapila Dev instructs that we should not endeavor hard for things which may come automatically without extraneous labor. The exact word used in this connection is, yadrichaya, means that every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress in his present body. This is called the law of karma. It is not possible that simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. In reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestined karma. According to the Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with dangerous or miserable conditions without endeavoring for them. And similarly, we may have prosperous conditions without endeavoring for them. We are advised to let these things come as predestined. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. In other words, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. If by predestination one is put into a certain condition of life which is not very prosperous in comparison to another's position, one should not be disturbed. He should simply try to utilize his valuable time to advance in Krishna consciousness. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any materially prosperous or distressed condition. It is free from the conditions imposed by material nature. A very poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be very satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Another word here is mitabhuk. Mitabhuk. This means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. One should not be gluttonous to satisfy the tongue. Grains, fruits, milk, and similar foods are allotted for human consumption. One should not be excessively eager to satisfy the tongue and eat that which is not meant for humanity. Particularly, a devotee should eat only prasada, or food, which is offered to the personality of Godhead. His position is to accept the remnants of those foodstuffs. Innocent foods like grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, and milk preparations are offered to the Lord, and therefore there is no scope for offering foods which are in the modes of passion and ignorance. A devotee should not be greedy. It is also recommended that the devotee should be muni, or thoughtful. He should always think of Krishna and how to render better service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That should be his only anxiety. As a materialist is always thoughtful about improving his material condition, a devotee's thoughts should always be engaged in improving his condition in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he should be a muni. The next item recommended is that a devotee should live in a secluded place. Generally, a common man is interested in pounds, shillings, and pence, or materialistic advancement in life, which is unnecessary for a devotee. A devotee should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. It is recommended that he live in a place where there is no large number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secluded place. Vivikta Sharana. The next item is Shanta, or peacefulness. The devotee should not be agitated. He should be satisfied with his natural income, eat only as much as he needs to keep his health, live in a secluded place, and always remain peaceful. Peace of mind is necessary for prosecuting Krishna consciousness. The next item is Maitra, friendliness. A devotee should be friendly to everyone, but his intimate friendship should be with devotees only. With others, he should be official. He may say, "Yes, sir, what you say is all right," but he is not intimate with them. A devotee should, however, have compassion for persons who are innocent, who are neither atheistic nor very much advanced in spiritual realization. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan, or situated in his spiritual position. He should not forget that his main concern is to make advancement in spiritual consciousness, or Krishna consciousness, and he should not ignorantly identify himself with the body or the mind. Atma means the body or the mind, but here the word Atmavan especially means that one should be self-possessed. He should always remain in the pure consciousness that he is spirit soul and not the material body or the mind. That will make him progress confidently in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For his income, a devotee should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. He should live in a secluded place and always be thoughtful, peaceful, friendly, compassionate, and self-realized. Yadrishchayo palabdhena santushto metabhunmani vivikta sharana shanto maitra karuna atmavan. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Maharaj, would you like to share any comments now? Hare Krishna Shravana Prabhu.
beginning of this verse is specifically directed toward the grihastas who require money to maintain their home and their cattle and their wife and children. And for them, money is necessary, but it's not necessary for brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, or sannyasis, because these other ashrams depend on the Lord, who supplies all the necessities through the charity of others. And a devotee, he should not work unnecessarily hard. In the Vedic culture, it's based on primarily agriculture. And then India, the villagers, they work only like 4 months out of the year. And the rest of the time, they engage in spiritual cultivation. And if one keeps cows and horses and other animals, there's no need to mow the lawn, because these animals keep the atmosphere in the park-like condition. This is true firmly all over the world. Just like in Boston, there's a big park called the Boston Commons, where the devotees used to hold Harinam Sankirtan. And this park was formerly grazing ground. It was a common grazing ground for all the citizens of that area. And the animals naturally kept it in a neat condition by eating grass. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anything from Martha?
The principle of a person who's self-realized, or desires to become self-realized, is very strongly aligned with this concept of just accepting whatever the Lord gives as one's quota. Sometimes we see in the Ishopanishad, one should accept only those things which are set aside for his quota, and he should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. They belong to Krishna. And so he knows that, and he's satisfied with what he gets for his maintenance. He's never satisfied with his level of Krishna consciousness. He always wants to improve that. He's never lazy about that. But when it comes to increasing his material facilities, he's generally not very enthusiastic about doing that. You'll see Prabhupada was not very inclined for getting nice cars for himself or dressing in opulent clothing. He took sannyas, and even though he was a well-to-do man before that, after taking sannyas, he didn't worry about, not that he worried about the things before, but it's natural for a grihasta to maintain his family and keep a certain level of maintenance. But a sannyasi, or someone who's like really renounced, he doesn't even care much for those things. In fact, Shukadeva Goswami was so renounced, he didn't even wear clothing. That wasn't because of some material desire that he had, which he thought he might be satisfied by something material. But rather, it was simply that he didn't consider the important factor because he had no material desires to be fulfilled. Therefore, a devotee is not interested in working to get money or wealth, because he knows, I'm going to get it anyway. This is kind of mysterious. People will say, well, how can you be sure you're going to get the funds you need, the facilities you need to maintain yourself if you don't work towards it? And the answer is that the devotee knows that Krishna has promised to take care of him. It's stated in the Vedas also. Nityanam, Nityanam, Chaitanya Chaitananam, Bahunam, Bahumam, Eko Bahunam, Vidatikam. Thank you. Yes, he's on the same level with Krishna in the sense of his existential position. His nature is eternal and conscious. But the one difference is that only the Lord maintains all the other living entities. So they're maintained by Krishna. And the devotee doesn't think that he's going to take the place of Krishna and maintain himself by his own work. So therefore, one should not waste his time trying to get money for maintaining himself or even improving his economic situation. Rather, he should use his valuable time simply in trying to make advancement in devotional service. And the karma that he already has will determine what his material, so-called material situation will be, whether it will be opulent or less opulent. It doesn't matter, because one can make advancement from either position. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We're very much grateful for your comments, Maharaj, and also yours, Krishna Shravana Prabhu. First of all, offer my obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to all the assembled devotees. So, these points here are for the devotee in practice, and of course, these are very high standards, but the idea is that if we're not on this platform yet, we shouldn't be discouraged. We should continue our devotional service, and if we're manifesting these qualities naturally, then we can see that we are making advancement. Now, the same thing applies, is that, so Prabhupada has given in a lecture, he was speaking about chant, 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 can't in Los Angeles. And in that lecture, he talks about how we give our students, from the negative side, we say, first of all, break these 4 pillars of sinful life. And on the other side, you chant Hare Krishna with a vow. So one can say, well, all the good qualities manifest in somebody who becomes a devotee. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavata kinchana, like that. Okay, so, but that's true. But the strength of my bhakti is not very strong. Even though externally I may be engaged, right? My motivations are impure, right? So my heart is dirty. So what love can I share with Krishna? What is the value of that bhakti? It is valuable, right? Every bit is valuable. Even one thought of pleasing Krishna, or one act done in the intention to please Krishna, even if it's mental, you still get credit. Even if you don't manifest the activity to please Krishna, if you meditate on doing an activity with the intention to please Krishna, you get credit for that, even if you don't manifest the activity, gross platform. So he's Bhavagrahi Janardana. He's taking all the nectar of this mood of service from all the unlimited jivas. And he even takes it from somebody like Putana, who tries to kill him with her breast milk, or poisoned breast. So if he can take that service, what to speak of the devotees that are struggling to live according to his instructions given in Bhagavad Gita? What will be their destination? What will be their credit? Right? So we should never become discouraged if we don't match up to the level that is required for pure devotion, or for for proper sadhana. But we should never stop trying. So that's the idea that I wanted to point out, is that we read these descriptions of what it's like to be a sadhaka who is going to be moving swiftly towards the goal of Krishna prema and perfection. And we can see that, actually, I have some of those opposite tendencies or opposite qualities. And this is the point that is mentioned in this verse itself, is the devotee should be thoughtful. Sometimes in the material world, there's a topic of like being self-reflective. You should do self-reflection. And sometimes we as devotees, we can sometimes certain terminology that we heard come from the materialists and the Mayavadis and the New Agers, we can basically shun that type of language. But whatever language is being used is ultimately based on some real truth which has been given by Krishna, but it may be adulterated. So therefore we can make sure to find self-reflection doesn't mean, some materialistic concept about, am I having, enough money in my life, or should I go to Japan, or should I go to Hawaii? Should I invest in this business or that business? Without any touch of Krishna consciousness. That type of self-reflection is not important for the devotee. Rather, the devotee is self-reflective, and he says, is my consciousness imbued with the qualities of a sadhaka, with the qualities of a devotee? Am I on my way to Krishna firmly and strongly? And this point was mentioned at the end, that Atma means the body or the mind. But here the word Atmavan especially means that one should be self-possessed. Now that's an interesting word. He should always remain in the pure consciousness that he is spirit, soul, and not the material body or mind. So we hear the word self-possessed and we say, it means something like, selfishness, or he's, possessive person, so self-possessed. No, this means that he understands that I'm actually spirit soul. I'm transmigrating in so many births, right? So many lifetimes. Even in this body, I'm transmigrating. Brahmanda Brahmite Bhagyavan, Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. And I have now become fortunate, Bhagyavan, and I have actually have the opportunity. Why? Because Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. Now, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, right? So we hear this Guru and Krishna philosophy very amazingly presented in the Namasankirtan Bhajan. Guru and Krishna and Guru. Of course, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. Guru comes first in that shloka. But we can hear he's chanting Nam Sankirtan. Haraya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha Yaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Namaha. This is all obeisances to the Supreme Lord. But how is he singing? Shri Krishna. How's the end? The last line go? Yeah. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriyash Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. What is it? Koriyash. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma. The lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and the Guru are my aspiration. Koriyash. That's my desire. Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. I'm singing this, the Nam Sankirtan, the glories of the Supreme Lord, right? Actually, with my desire is the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and the Guru. And then we hear from other bhajans. The other bhajans describe, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the disciple, he's running after the spiritual master and saying, you have Krishna. You can give me Krishna. So he runs after saying, Krishna, Krishna. So we ask the Guru to give us Krishna, and we ask Krishna to give us Guru. So how much are we doing that? That's called thoughtfulness, is to self-reflect. Where is my consciousness? Or you can put it very simply, where is my attention going right now? Right? And we can reflect, okay, there was a series of time, I'll take it as a snapshot. Where was my consciousness during that season, during that period of time? Was I really attentive to my services and focusing on the wonderful knowledge coming from the Vedic literatures? Did I have gravity of purpose? Right? Did I fix myself in the wonderful narrations coming from the Vedic literatures, which purify the mind and uplift it? Or was I absorbed in some temporary satisfactions and disappointments that are always happening to me every second? It's not like it's not going to happen. But where is my consciousness? Where is my attention going? And if you want the highest return on your investment of attention, right? Then you put it in the holy name. If we put our attention in the transcendental sound vibration of the Maha Mantra, then you get the biggest ROI. Return on ROA. Return on attention. Is it called ROI? Return on investment. Right? So we want to invest our attention in Krishna and Krishna's service. There's so many things that could be said. Please pardon me. I didn't leave much time. Would anybody like to add something else? Okay. There was a verse that I remembered. It comes from Prahlad Maharaj, I think, and he speaks about how in the nighttime, then the materialists are simply absorbed in sleeping or sex life, and in the daytime they're working very, very, very hard to get all the materials for sense gratification. And Prabhupada was giving a lecture and he's saying, this is just like the pig. He's enjoying sex whenever he likes, eating whatever the heck he wants to eat, no discrimination. And he's thinking, where's stool, where's stool, where's stool, where's stool? And the humans are just the same. Where's money, where's money, where's money, where's money, where's money? So we want to be like that? No, we want to say, where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? Right? Are you on the other side of Govardhan? Are you by the Yamuna? This is the Goswami consciousness, right? Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.